Extra depth and perspective on El Paso's recycling program. It's probably safe to assume when you recycle, you feel like you're doing the right thing and that whatever it is you're recycling ends up being just that, recycled into something that can be used later down the road. That's not always the case, but it is something you can control. Let me first explain by showing you what happens when you recycle here in El Paso. And it all starts with these blue bins. There are about 190,000 of these across the city of El Paso, picked up on a biweekly schedule. An environmental services truck picks up the contents, takes them to Friedman Recycling, the company the city contracted to sort and pack it all. But here's where your recyclables could end up not being recycled after all. The city of El Paso only considers paper, cardboard, plastic, aluminum, and tin as recyclable material. Anything outside that list is what's called a residual. And where do residuals end up? In the landfill with the rest of your trash. Simply put, residuals aren't recycled. So how often does this actually happen? The answer, more than you may think. According to the city of El Paso, 28% of all recycling collections, a number the city calls the contamination rate, ends up in the landfill. The city's goal since the program started in 2007 has been a 15% contamination rate, according to an audit. The city is way underperforming there. The city of El Paso tells me recycling costs taxpayers roughly $8 million per year. And it's that cost combined with a contamination rate of nearly 30% that has retired veterinarian Rick Bonart, a government watchdog, questioning, is it worth it?
Once you're going down a route and maybe they're not looking at things carefully enough, and a failure to examine things and see if we're meeting our goals. But I think if they would do that with a critical mind and a critical eye at this period of time, that money could be better used within the enterprise to give the employees raises and actually just do a better job in the community in other ways. Anytime you're wasting money, government money, it actually is bad.
But I took his concern to the city of El Paso. A city spokeswoman characterizes the recycling program not as a win-lose program in reference to the $8 million cost, but instead a quality of life program like a library. Mayor Oscar Leeser believes in the program's return on an investment, even if not from a monetary standpoint.
You got to look at it in a long-term program. And, you talk about, if you're talking about today, we have about 189,000 blue bins. And if you think about that, you would take those blue bins and you put them in the landfills. And so what happens to your landfills today? They start filling up. And then in the future, we have no place for landfills. So it's really important for the future of our city, and it's really important for the quality of life for El Paso.
Now, according to that 2018 audit, the city only saved about 8 months worth of landfill space over the course of the first 11 years of the program. In that time frame, the city invested $68 million into the program. The city of El Paso spokeswoman tells me the contamination rate has actually increased since the end of fiscal year 20 last August, from that 28% you saw to now 32%. The city estimates at the current collection volumes and contamination rate, it takes 17 years for 1 year of landfill space to be saved. Ultimately, a change to the program would come from a city council vote, and I reached out to all 8 of them. 3 of them responded. I'll have their responses for you on KVI.com.